What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the City Life Project YouTube channel for yet another live predictions video. That is right, UFC 293 this weekend, and we are going to run down the entire card, starting from the early prelims all the way to the main event. And stick around till the end, or if you're watching this and you're just here to hear this, scroll all the way to the end for our City Life Project in association with our friend Volkan's Degenerate Parlay of the Week. That's right. Definitely do not bet your house on this one, but at the end of the stream here, at the end of this predictions video, I will I will give you the degenerate pick of the week. We go live on these because, well, you guys said you liked the live interaction, and how we do is we go through a chunk, 3 to 4 fights that we run down. I give my prediction and pick at the end of every single one. And then we usually go back to the live chat and hang out with you guys. I see we have a couple comments here right now. So what is up, Volkan? Good to see you, brother. The degen is to sprinkle on it. Yes, just a little something. Just a little something. It's a fun one. Honestly, Volkan, and this is a tease for those who are just watching this video or who are just joining us now. I had options. This that I have in my hand here. So don't forget to stick around. This might not even be the most degenerate parlay, like 3-fight parlay on that I could put together. But it's my degenerate parlay of the week. You might say, you know what? There could be a fighter or two that you change up there at the end. Don't forget to comment in the live chat. Don't forget to comment on the video if you think it can get even crazier. What is up, Speedy Reels? Sean Tai, the Brazilian Tafa, the pleasure man. You heard it here first. Ask your wife what the pleasure man means. Jeez. Yeah, anyways, not super high on Turkalj either, but that is a good degenerate parlay there, my man. That is a good degenerate parlay. All right, let's start going through these fights here, and we'll get back to the comments after we get through the first 3 or 4. And again, appreciate every single one of you. While you're joining us here, smash that like button if you haven't already, and appreciate your guys' feedback on all of the videos right after this live stream, by the way. And if you're rewatching this video, it will be posted. New video on the channel. Just finished editing it and uploading it right before we came on live, so I'll post it right after this. Let's get to the first fight on this card. We have Kevin Jousset against Kiefer Crosbie. Kevin Jousset, 8-2 as a pro. He is 4-1 in his last 5 fights on a 3-fight win streak. He is French. He's fighting out of Australia. He is the favorite at -135, and he's 30 years of age. What's up, phony? 4 KO TKO, 0 submission, 4 decisions, 2-2 in Eternal MMA, 4-0 in Hex Fight Series. Eternal MMA, good regional scene in the land down under. Unfamiliar with Hex personally. Like I said, he's on a 3-fight win streak where one of his 3 was impressive, I guess. I mean, split decision. So, and I haven't watched that fight per se, but against a guy who's 11-1, 12-6, 0-1. Split decision, 6-2 guy, 8-4, 2-0. He lost to Jack Della Maddalena when he was, only 2-0. So that's not the worst loss to have on your resume. Looking at his opponent, Kiefer Crosbie, out of Dublin, Ireland. He's 33 years of age, +110. This one's near even, guys. This one's near even. On a 2-fight win streak, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Fighting out of SBG, 5 KO TKO, 2 submissions, 3 decisions, 4-3 in Bellator, 3-0 in Bama. The OGs know Bama. God, I miss Bama. That was a fun league to follow. His last fight wasn't even in mixed martial arts. It was an exhibition boxing match. We fought Aaron Chalmers, and I'm pretty sure, again, I don't know much about this guy at all. Like boxer at one point, if I'm not mistaken. The Joker. Okay. Fought a little MMA here. Boxing. Okay, I honestly don't know who that is, but exhibition boxing. I thought he was like an influencer or something. Got a win against Alex Oliveira, Cowboy Alex Oliveira, but on the regional, okay, on the regional, well past, Cowboys prime in combat sports and mixed martial arts. Before that, he beat a 6-12 guy. I mean, okay, lost to 30-11, 16-11. Beat a 6-2 guy via split decision in Bellator, and a 5-2 guy when Hugo Pereira when he was 6-1. Those aren't bad wins. Those aren't bad wins at all. Lost to Mike Jackson. That was a legal knee. Okay. Before them was on a decent win streak. 7-3. I think that's his best win. That is his best win. Oof. Well, I mean, I hope that we see a good fight to start off this card, but I mean, just based on the resumes alone, I can see why the odds are near even. However, this one might be a stinker, or it might just be like, those regional style wars. But anyways, I'm going with Kevin Jousset. Sorry if that was a little loud. I'm going with Kevin Jousset there. Because I mean, this one's kind of in the flip a coin region almost. Crosby's not a bad underdog. I guess you want to include him on a degenerate parlay or something like that. But I'm going Kevin Jousset. I just think he's well-rounded. I did watch a few of his fights, not even fully through, but just like good chunks of like a few rounds of a few of his fights, just to kind of get a feel of him. He's a kickboxer. He's a CKB guy. So obviously has some great training partners. I mean, SBG versus CKB. I think CKB is the better gym right now. He's more technical, where Crosby's more of a brawler. And just, I said better training partners already. I don't know. I'm reaching for straws here. I'm reaching for ways to back up my pick. There's not really many. Flip a coin. He's a little bit more well-rounded. He's more of a dangerous technical kickboxer versus Crosby, who's more of a brawler. Let's move on to the next one here. We'll get through two more, then we'll get back to the comments, folks. Again, appreciate every single one of you joining. Next fight in the early prelims, we have Shane Young against Gabriel Miranda. Shane Young, 13-7 in his pro MMA career. He is on a 3-fight losing streak. 2-3 in his last 5 fights. He's at Auckland, New Zealand. CKB guy as well. 30 years of age, and he's coming in at the favorite. Despite being on a 3-fight losing streak right now, he's coming in as the favorite. Like I said, 13-7 as a pro. CKB, 6 KO, TKO, 4 submissions, 2 decisions. He's lost 6 times. The decision, only been knocked out once. 2-4 in the UFC, 2-2 in XFC, and 2-1 in Wu Lin Fang. What's up, Hockey? What's up, Gravedigger? I'll get back to you guys with comments after this breakdown and the one after that. Lost to Blake Bilder, Omar Morales, Ludovic Klein. Again, none of these losses are to terrible opponents, but by any means, they're all in the UFC, 7-0, 10-1, 16-2. But again, this is the UFC. This is the highest level. You can't go on these losing streaks because you're going to fight the best in the world. Usually the best in the world. So, I mean, you lose two in a row to guys like this. Okay, 3 in a row. I mean, you got to get a win in this one. You're on the chopping block. If not, Austin Arnett and Ronaldo died before that. Lost to Volkanovski on the way up. Yeah, I mean, not the most impressive resume, to be perfectly honest. Another kickboxer from CKB who isn't the best grappler. You know what I mean? Like, he's been exposed multiple times in the grappling department, especially up against the cage. Easy to be taken down, easy to be bullied. As soon as someone gets those underhooks in is Shane Young. But again, dangerous striker. Most of the CKB guys are. Gabriel Miranda's opponent, he's coming in at plus 140. He is the underdog, 33 years of age. He's the Brazilian. And again, for everyone, Gravedigger Jones, one of our exclusive members, I saw him in the live chat peeking there. What's his rule? If you don't know much about either the guy or girl, pick the Brazilian. But anyways, Gabriel Miranda, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. He lost his last fight, which broke his 3-fight win streak. MMA Masters is a good gym as well, guys. 16-6 in his pro MMA career. 1 KO TKO. He's been knocked out twice. 15 submission. Yes, your boy's a grappler. Never been submitted. Only lost 4 times via decision. Never won decision. He's finished every single one of his fights, which I always love to see that when we run down these fighters. 0-1 in the UFC, 7-0 and face the danger. We run down fighters weekly. We watch so much regional MMA on this channel. I have never heard of Face the Danger. It's my new favorite regional show. What's up, Shane? I see you there peeking. We'll get back to the comments here in a sec, guys. 2-1 in Brave. Hey, you guys, Brave, a great Brave card today, which, by the way, follow me on Twitter at VI Sports Talk. I shared a highlight from Brave. What was it, like a spinning switch kick? I don't know the name of the kick. It was unbelievable. Beautiful highlight there. Brave's an awesome league, and he's fought in Brave between 2018 and 2019, where he went 2-1. Lost to Benoit Saint Denis in the UFC. No shame in that. And Face the Danger, look, 5-5, 3-1, 8-7. Those 3 wins ain't good wins on the resume. Let's be perfectly honest. Went the distance against a Magomedov in Brave, by the way. I don't care what his, like, don't even look at it. He's a Medov in Brave, okay? He went the distance. He probably won that. Let's be perfectly honest. You go the distance with an Ov in Brave, you're probably going to lose. But he did end up finishing Fernando Noriega, who's a 5-1 guy. 2 5-0 guys in a row, 6-0, and he was 8-2. So there's a few solid wins, Costa, on his resume earlier on in his career, but yeah, it's his resume doesn't stand out. And maybe, upon looking at this, you might think, okay, Australia, CKB heavy, maybe they're giving Shane Young a layup. I don't think it's going to be a layup, despite his resume being, on paper a little bit worse than Shane. Okay, a lot worse than Shane Young's. I am going with the underdog here. I'm going with Gabriel Miranda. He is a tremendous grappler. And where does Shane Young absolutely suck? Okay, that's mean. He doesn't absolutely suck there. But where does he struggle the most in? Grappling. And Gabriel Miranda, he's no like spring chicken trying to utilize his grappling, still getting used to utilizing grappling in mixed martial arts at high levels. He's been doing it. What was it? 15 submissions? I think, and he's been in enough fights where clearly he can hold his own striking to set up that submission or set up that grappling. I don't know. I don't think Shane Young is that good. Never have, never will. Haven't watched much of Miranda live. Reviewed some of his fights here in preparation for this. But yeah, at plus 140, give it to me. Cash that money, baby. He doesn't have the best stand-up, but looked good enough on the regional scene. High-level fights anyways in the stand-up department. But again, his last 3 fights aside, because honestly, I didn't even watch those ones. I watched earlier fights of his. So I don't know how banged up he is at this moment in his career at a fresh 33 years old. He's also got that like crazy mustache, right? I mean, I know it's not the Dan Severn mustache, but when you have a crazy mustache in mixed martial arts, I mean, you get naturally some superpowers from that, all right? Not the best opponents recently. I said that, but he has had some decent ones early in his career. Good wins and good promotions, or at least he has good wins in the decent promotions that he has fought in. Sensational grappler. He really is. Like, he tears through guys. Look, Shane Young, not that great of a grappler, not as well-rounded as you need to be a solid and regular UFC fighter, in my opinion. Great striker, though. That is his only path to victory, in my opinion, is by knocking Gabriel Miranda out, because I don't think Shane Young will be able to outstrike him to do enough damage. If it goes the distance to win a judge's decision, and I think Gabriel Miranda, as soon as he gets hold of him or takes him to the ground, will be active and chase that submission, or constantly, like I said, just be active on the ground. There ain't going to be no laying and praying by Gabriel Miranda. All right, running through one more match here, then we'll get to the comments, guys. Appreciate you all. This one will be quick, I promise, because why is this guy still in the UFC? Mike Mathetha, a.k.a. Blood Diamond, versus Charlie Radtke? Why did I say Radtke? Charlie Radtke. Oh my God. Blood Diamond, though a very fancy and dangerous kickboxer, he is not a mixed martial artist. He's not a mixed martial artist at the UFC level, anyways, ladies and gentlemen. Not even close. Okay. So with that, you might already know who I'm picking. But let's quickly run it down. Blood Diamond 3-2 as a pro. 3-2 in his last 5 fights on a 2-fight losing streak. Plus 195 favorite or underdog. He is the underdog. He's 35 years old too, man. Like he's had a long kickboxing career. He's only in the UFC because he's training partners with Israel Adesanya, I swear. 0-2 in the UFC, lost to Orion Corse, lost to Jeremiah Wells. He just got absolutely, they got the underhooks in or the body lock, and the fight was over. And honestly, striking didn't even look that menacing in the UFC. I mean, there's not much to see here. Not much to see here. He's a kickboxer, guys. He's not a mixed martial artist. He's lucky he's Israel Adesanya's training partner. And in fairness to him, he did prepare Volkanovski for Yair Rodriguez. He's a tremendous training partner, and he's probably a good MMA fighter. But he's 3-2 as a pro, man. He's 3 days in the UFC. Are you kidding me? I mean, just proofs in the pudding. He was so bad in his last 2 fights. I have no idea who Charlie Radtke is, to be perfectly honest. I think I might have seen him fight once on the regional. Like, the name sounds familiar. And when I watched... And in this case, I'm going to be perfectly honest, I just watched highlights and some footage of him. I didn't watch a lot of his film in preparation for this. But he is 7-3. He is on a 4-fight win streak. Minus 250 favorite. Easy money. Out of Salem, Wisconsin, baby. He's from the Midwest. Let's go. 33 years of age. Chuck Buffalo. All right. MMA Masters, good gym. So you know that he knows how to grapple because they got a lot of grapplers at that gym. Oh, he's going to destroy Blood Diamond, dude. And he's got some power. 3 KO, TKO, 2 submissions, 2 decisions. 0-1 in Bellator. 4-0 in Cage Fury FC. Oh, yeah, he won the title against Raheem Forrest. Dude, Raheem Forrest is legit. 7-1. His only losses to this guy. 4 KO, TKO. Dude, this guy knocks people out. Yes. Dude, that was such a good win. You guys know how I feel about Cage Fury FC as well. That was an awesome win. Choked him out in the first round. Beat a 4-2 guy. Beat him in the first round. Split decision. Second round knockout. Dude, this guy, he's going to destroy Blood Diamond. He's going to destroy him. Absolutely destroy him. Easy money. Locking it in. All right, guys, let's get back to the comments here. What is up? Yes, he did. Right? What's up, Phony? It's good to see you. Volk, I'm going to work my way up the comments here. I got a small money line bet on Blood Diamond. He said he trained the scrambles and grappling with Volkanovski. Might be his first UFC win. I don't think against Radtke. I think Radtke's too good, to be honest. I mean, at his level anyways. Like, he's coming off regional. Blood Diamond should be in regional. And he's a champion. He won that belt, if I'm not mistaken. I like the assessment of Shane Young and Gabriel. Thanks, Kenneth. Appreciate you. Hockey from home. I don't think he never ordered it, Hockey from home. What's up, Shane? Good to see you. What is up? Oh, shit. Flash Gordon. See you later, Hockey from home. What's up, Gravedigger Jones, one of our exclusive members. Shane, our other exclusive member in the live chat here. Good to see you guys. I think the underdog Miranda has a chance. Absolutely. As you heard, that's who I'm going with as well. Nice. Hockey from home. Tell your classmates thank you for subbing. I appreciate you. I lean Adesanya, but that's the main. I think everyone's leaning Adesanya. Let the trumpets blow. I have arrived. I hope Sean fights like he did in the second round versus Abbas, but Izzy will not tire. No, it's going to be interesting to see like how Sean approaches that one. Blood Diamond going to look like a bloody diamond, yes. And again, very talented and fancy kickboxer. I think he was the perfect... I mean, and I dogged on Volkanovski. Maybe Volkanovski is just this good. I dogged on him, like, why are you training with Blood Diamond for Yair Rodriguez? And I actually saw some of the training footage. I'm like, okay, yeah, this guy's got some... He's got like a capoeira and Muay Thai were mixed together, that's like his style. It's crazy, and it's effective. I've seen him fight in Glory of Heroes. I mean, he fought there when Izzy was fought there. I don't know all the other kickboxing promotions that he fought in, but I watched a bunch of his highlights. I think last year when he entered the UFC. So talented kickboxer, but when he's in the UFC, he's just so bad. What is up, Hoggy from Home's friend Mohammed? Shout out. Hoggy from Home. I got 2 people who subscribed and they unsubscribed yesterday too. So Mohammed better not unsubscribe. I've seen Flash Gordon. Yes, I think I don't remember. I don't remember when I saw it though. Probably like last year, Shane, a year before. Mashed potato Gordon. I can do this.
That shit beautiful than a motherfucker.
There you go. There you go. Where is he in the chat right now? Mohammed, hello. Say hello. All right, moving on to the next one. Keep the comments coming, guys. Love the interaction. I gave him something better. All right, next fight on the card here. Again, appreciate every single one of you joining us live here on the channel. If you're rewatching this later, appreciate you for doing that as well. Join us every week. I'm going to be adding this stream to the community tab when I post my streaming schedule weekly, so that you'll know every week when we are doing our rundown. What's up, Gun Totin Granny? Just stopped by to say hi. Hello, it's great to see you. Thank you so much for joining. He's busy with training. He wants to be in MMA. Oh, nice. Is he fighting amateur? Gun Totin Granny, thank you so much for all the support you show the Soda Pod, Judd's Buds, and Hoppy Spoke Z. You're the best. Appreciate you. And thank you for stopping by this channel as well, guys. Don't forget to smash that like button if you haven't already. Let's get to this next matchup. And again, keep the comments coming. When we get through a chunk of the fighters on this card, when we get through 3 or 4 of the fights and break them down, I'll give my picks, predictions. Then we'll get to your comments. Appreciate you guys for giving me back all your feedback, for giving me all your feedback, giving me back the feedback, giving me all your feedback. You said that you loved these prediction videos live because you like the interaction element versus me just posting the prediction videos weekly. You ask, I deliver. It's a lot of fun. I look forward to them weekly as well. Next fight on the card, Nasrat Haqparast against Landon Quiñones. You might be asking, oh, Landon Quiñones, that's a familiar name. Yes, he was just on The Ultimate Fighter, and yes, he was not that good. Haqparast, 14-5 in his pro MMA career. He is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. He's coming off a win out of Afghanistan, fighting out of Germany. I'm pretty sure he also is a TriStar guy, so spends time in Canada. 28 years of age. Man, he broke into the UFC pretty young. He's only 28. 14-5. Yeah, out of TriStar. 9 KO TKOs, 0 submissions, only lost once via submission. Very slick boxer. Won 5 decision, 9 KO TKO. That is a boxer's MMA record if I've ever seen one. 6-4 in the UFC. And, oh, he's one of those. I've heard of this before. I've never watched the show, but one of these days we're going to have to stream We Love MMA.
Oh, my God.
4-1 and We Love MMA. 6-4. So he's been in the UFC since 2017. That's crazy, man. Beat John Makdessi in his last fight, unanimous decision. Not a bad win, Makdessi on this card, but kind of on his way out. Still a tough fight, but like Makdessi ain't knocking you out at this point in his career. Lost to Bobby Green, good win by Bobby Green. Lost to Dan Hooker, good win by Dan Hooker. Beat Rafa Garcia. Alex Munoz, lost to Drew Dober. Basically, the thing about Haqparast, and again, like, there's no shame in winning or losing to any of these guys. The thing is, like, he was so young coming in that the UFC, like, didn't give him, like, these crazy opponents right off the bat. And then he, like, faced some injury. Then he faced the likes of, like, Drew Dober, Dan Hooker, and Bobby Green, just couldn't get over the hump. So that's just kind of the thing about about Nasrat right now. He just can't really get over that hump. Now, he's only 28 years old. Again, faced some injuries in the last few years, or last couple years anyways. still has some time to add more tools to his tool belt. He has a few years to continue to develop, continue to hone his skills, and maybe he can get over that hump. But right now, that's just what I've noticed about him. He's good. He's a very good fighter in the division outside of the rankings. You know what I mean? Let's see if he'll eventually break into the rankings. Looking at his opponent, Landon Quiñones, 7-1-1 as a pro on a 5-fight win streak as a pro. Again, because the Ultimate Fighter fights are exhibition, at least until the semifinals, because then there are 3-round fights in the semifinals. Plus 320 underdog. He is out of Florida. He is 27 years of age. And again, there weren't any good prospects on that Ultimate Fighter season, Chandler versus McGregor. We stream, by the way, we did a watch party, streamed every Tuesday, every single episode, folks. I don't know why we did it to ourselves. Honestly, it was just a lot of fun hanging out with you guys in the chat. That's why we did it. I don't even remember what happened in the show other than that Chandler's team cleaned up. And McGregor somehow got a win because Katona went to his team. 5 KO, TKO, 1 submission, 1 decision. His only loss is via decision. And he only has 1 decision, so he mostly puts out his opponents. Draw in Bellator and 7-1 in Titan FC. Titan FC, great promotion as well. Beat a 9-3 guy. 9-3 guy. 4-1, 4-0. 0-3. Like that's just the thing. I mean, Jason Knight, and again, Jason Knight, decent grappling, but not the best. Let's be honest. And Jason Knight just like tore through him, man. Jason Knight just tore through him. And Jason Knight is more of a bare knuckle boxer. He's more of a stand in the pocket brawler. And Jason Knight tore through him and submitted him, dude. I don't know. I wasn't impressed with his performance. Again, these are 2 good wins, which earn you that shot. 2 good wins in a good promotion. I actually really like Titan FC. 2 good wins to get you that shot. But as soon, and again, Jason Knight's not even UFC material right now, but as soon as you go up against, proverbial UFC, grade fighters, UFC material, folded so easily. I don't know why the UFC signed him. Personally, I think Nasrat Haqparast absolutely dismantles him. Whether it's a TKO or goes to decision, I think Haqparast bullies him. At -410, it's pretty easy money here. I don't know. I'm not confident in the lone wolf. Quiñones just not that great. That's what I wrote in my notes. Decent wins on the regional, especially his last 2, like I said. Not the best ground game at all if Jason Knight's submitting you. Nasrat will beat him on the feet in the firefight, and he'll make it look easy. Still young as Haqparast. He trains out of a good gym, and he's had so much experience already, and he's not even 30. He's a couple years shy of 30, and he's had so much experience in the UFC and as a pro. I just have in my notes circled better. All around better. Nasrat Haqparast. What's up, Living with H? It's great to see you, buddy. We'll get back to the comments here in a sec, guys. All right, Jamie Mullarkey against John Makdessi. I like John Makdessi's picture here. Oh, Canada, by the way. We got lightweight bout next year. Jamie Mullarkey, 16-6 as a pro. He is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. He is the favorite at -190. By the way, Living with H in the comments here does great fishing content. Longtime supporter of this channel. Go check out his channel if you dig fishing content. He is crushing it. 16-6 as a pro. He's out of Australia. 29 years old. I actually like Jamie Mullarkey. 10 KO TKO, 3 submissions, 3 decisions, 4-4 in the UFC, 8-1 in brace mixed martial arts. He's a massive 155er. He's thick, he's tall. Like, yes, he got knocked out by Naimov. That's the thing. His chin, it's hard to trust at times. Like, he ain't no Drew Dober Giga Chad, okay? Though he kind of looks like, I don't want to say he looks like a good Chad, but he looks like he might have like a good chin. He's got a big chin. Doesn't mean it's the greatest chin. Credit to Naimov. That was a beautiful shot. And actually, credit to Mullarkey. He looked good in the first round in that fight. Beat Francisco Prado. Ended his 11-fight win streak. beat Michael Johnson. Lost to Jalen Turner, but no shame in that. Beat Devontae Smith, who was 11-2. Lost to Farziam, Brad Riddell. I mean, no shame in both those losses either. I mean, like I said, I like Jamie Mullarkey. Is he anything special? No, but is he incredibly strong for the weight class and good everywhere? Not great, but good everywhere. Yeah. And I would say he's very strong in the clinch, especially against some of these smaller 155ers in comparison to him. John Makdessi, old Canada baby, out of Laval, Quebec. 38 years of age. Damn, he's getting a little long in the tooth. But he's still humming. 18-8 as a pro. He is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. He's coming off a loss. Makdessi, 9 KO TKO, 0 submission. He is an absolute brawler.
That shit beautiful than a motherfucker.
9 decisions, 11-8 in the UFC. Man, that's crazy. We're all getting old. He has been in the UFC since 2010, and it feels like yesterday when I first saw him in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. His last loss was to Nasrat Haqparast, like we just said. Does have a decent win against Ignacio Bahamondes. That was actually a good win. Split decision. I do think he actually deserved that win as well. Went the distance against Trinaldo. And then had a 3-fight win streak before that. Ross Pearson, though Ross Pearson was kind of at the end of his career, still a good win. Pinedo's a good win. Lost to Lando Venata, but that was a crazy wheel kick. Mehdi Baghdad, split decision. I mean, a solid veteran. Let's be honest, solid veteran. Never got to that title contention, never got to the highest part of the rankings or anything like that, but he's been like in the UFC since 2010. He's continued to take on solid opponents like that of a Jamie Mullarkey. At -190, I am going to go with Jamie Mullarkey. I mean, Makdessi, like I want to say he's a good underdog. Like the odds aren't bad if you want to sprinkle a little something on him. I mean, if it goes to decision, you never know with judges, although this is going to be in Australia, so Mullarkey will probably get it. But no, seriously, all seriousness and all that, like all that junk aside, like if it goes the distance, is there a chance? If it could be competitive? Absolutely. I just think Mullarkey is too strong. That is my pick. Doesn't have the best chin, so Makdessi, though, his powers, it's fading a little bit more as he ages. And though he's a brawler, it's not like he had the craziest power despite his big KO TKO numbers on his resume there. But again, like there's a chance there. And that's the thing. Jamie Mullarkey, not the best chin. It's not the worst, but it's not the best. Mullarkey's super strong. I just wrote he's an absolute beast. Hits harder. Not necessarily polished, which is kind of what I said in the breakdown when we were going over his resume. He's good, not great, pretty much everywhere. Cardio machine, tall, technical. And again, John Makdessi, though he hasn't looked his age yet. I mean, that much anyways in his last few fights. He is getting older. He's a good fighter. He is past his prime. I think his only path to victory, realistically, is to knock out Mullarkey. I think if this goes the distance, Mullarkey is going to win this one, which is why I can't even confidently say, it's a good underdog with these odds. Like, sure, on paper it is, but I don't know. I know Mullarkey was knocked out recently a few months ago, but I think, I don't know. I think against a 38-year-old in Makdessi, I think he'll be fine. So again, Jamie Mullarkey's my pick. All right, we'll go over one more matchup here, then we'll get back to the comments, folks. Appreciate you guys joining. Jack Jenkins against Chepe Mariscal. Man, I'm a huge fan of Chepe Mariscal, and I might be mispronouncing his name, so my apologies if I am. He took a fight on short notice in the UFC recently, a few months ago, and put on a tremendous performance. Arguably fight of the, I think didn't they win fight of the night bonus? Anyways, it was an unbelievable fight, and we'll get into that in a sec. But let's first focus on the Aussie fighting at home, Jack Jenkins. Jack Fat Jenkins, 12-2 as a pro. He is 5-0 in his last 5 fights, a -220 favorite. He's 30 years of age. 5 KO, TKO, 3 submissions, 4 decisions. He's never lost via decision. He's lost twice via submission, and that is it. 2-0 in the UFC, 1-0 off Contender Series. That's where he's come off Contender Series last season, where he had a brutal ground and pound victory. He beat Don Shane via unanimous decision, and it was a great win in that one. And split decision against Jamal Emmers. You know, people said it could have gone either way, and it really could have. I thought Jenkins won that fight. Again, very close fight, and Jamal Emmers is no joke. So, like, whether he would have walked away with the split decision win or loss, it was a good performance nonetheless. Crisp striking, good, solid grappling on the feet and on the ground. His cardio questionable, but I think it's since been addressed. Like, his cardio didn't look bad in the Jamal Emmers fights. It was just something that people said. I mean, he's got a lot. He does carry quite a bit of muscle for his frame, and that was one of the things upon doing research, upon watching, that you could see, especially with him forcing the pace, him being the one dictating it. You could see sometimes a slowdown in the third round, which is natural, but it was just something I kind of kept my eye on. Didn't notice it too much in the last fight. Definitely noticed it in the Don Shana's fight, but like, again, it didn't really affect his performance there. That one was a great win as well. I'm a huge fan of Jack Jenkins, but I'm also a fan of his opponent, the Machine Gun. 14-6 as a pro, 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Coming into the UFC on short notice, and he got the win in a hard-fought battle. He's 30 years of age as well. Trains at the Elevation Fight Club, so he's got cardio for days. Out of Denver, Colorado. He's the underdog at plus 175, and I like this underdog. I do like this underdog. Do I think he's going to win? Well, you'll find out in a sec here. Like I said, Elevation, 6 KO, TKO, 3 submissions, 5 decision. He's very well-rounded, 2-2 in LFA, 1-0 in the UFC. He came in. What's up, JL? Good to see you. One of our exclusive members as well. He came in on short notice to face Trevor Peek. Now, Trevor Peek, no technique. Trevor Peek, he's the one who runs forward. Oh, with the hammer fist, like quite literally like this, running forward. No technique, and Trevor Peek gassed in the third round in that fight. And I should say that Mariscal, like, he took the fight on short notice, but he was training for another fight in LFA, so he wasn't like out of shape. You know what I mean? Like, he was in fighting shape, but still, UFC bright lights against a UFC fighter. It still is a step up and something you have to take into account, but well-deserved victory against Trevor Peek. Trevor Peek landed some big shots. It was an absolute war. Was it super technical? No. Was it a brawl? Yes. But Mariscal actually made it a little bit more technical than I thought it would be, especially later in the second and third round, where he had to utilize other elements of MMA to win this fight, as Trevor Peek just kept Trevor Peek gassed. He kept just trying to body lock or just throwing crazy shots or short elbows in the clinch. Trevor Peek peaked in the first round and then was gassed like pretty much, 2 minutes into the second round onward. But it was ugly in the most beautiful way. It was one of the ugliest fights in the most beautiful way. It was an absolute brawl, and I give this guy a lot of credit. However, I do think Jack Jenkins, who is my pick, is just crisper, cleaner, more polished. Like, they're both good in every facet of mixed martial arts. I just think Jack Jenkins is better in pretty much every area except for the cardio, which is why this is a good underdog at plus 175. He could get the upset, but I'm going with Jack Jenkins on this one. With that being said, let's get back to the live chat here before we get through our next bunch of predictions. What's up, Andrew? How's it going? Chepe is probably the more complete fighter. See, I think they're both complete. I just think Jack Jenkins is a little bit more polished. By the way, did you hear that story of Jack Jenkins? He was on a podcast. I saw the clip of it where the guy he was fighting on Contender Series somebody sent him a message on Instagram, like a fan of his, and was like, hey man, I watched the guy who's coming in on Contender Series fight before. He had like a nasty cut above his eyebrow there, like just a few months ago. So there's probably a lot of scar tissue there. And I think if you get him down, you should elbow him there, and that would reopen the cut. And Jenkins was like, okay, thanks, mate. Like, that's kind of random to message someone, but okay. And he said when he got the guy on the ground, he actually, like, that came into mind, and he actually started attacking that, and lo and behold, it bled, which I thought was a cool story. I think I shared it on Twitter at VI Sports Talk if you want to follow me there. JL, I mean, we hope he does, but I don't think he's going to. No, absolutely phony. This should be a great fight. This should be a great fight. No, good underdog. But indeed, it'll be a banger and a bit close. The odds are spot on, in my opinion. Yep, I think they are too, Volkan. Absolutely should be a banger. Yeah, living with H, it's great to see you, buddy. What's up, King James? Detroit 7. Go Lions, baby. Go Lions. 15 likes. 8 away. Yes, let's get this to 20 likes tonight. That would be amazing. 100% want to know the picks of someone who is a huge fan of MMA and clearly does the research on fights. Oh, I appreciate you, buddy. I do got notes. I'm no expert. I'm no betting expert or anything like that. But hey, I do my research at least. And I hear out what some of the other MMA creators say as well. Like, not all the time, but I try to watch like James Lynch's picks, the pros picks. Guru's videos are really long, so sometimes I'll just get his opinion on some of the ones that like say like I'm like, oh, I really think the underdog is here. Let's see what some of the other creators picked as well. Just for reference. But I mean, it's just so funny because every creator, every YouTube creator, I feel like, or every even professional or even fighters, like it's I love hearing their reasoning, because even if we have the same pick, there's always like something that you didn't see, which is really cool. So I hope I give you guys, if there's one thing on this in this entire video that like, oh, I didn't see that when I was watching these fighters fight before, that's what I hope to provide. And I'm pumped that you guys like the interaction when we do these. Gun Toten Granny, love you guys. Oh, thank you so much. It's Tricky. What's up? It's Tricky. It's good to see you. I caught the Blood Diamond fight over 1.5 rounds. Should that hit? I thought it was a lock, but the odds are minus 135. That one's tough because the guy he's going up against is a decent grappler. I would say it's not. I wouldn't say it's safe, but I don't think it's super risky. So I don't think you have much to worry about. Andrew, what comment, dude? So yeah, it's tricky. I don't think it's super safe just because I think Blood Diamond is that bad and he might get submitted. But I don't think it's super risky because he might just grapple him the whole time as well. Good and busy these days. Well, I'm glad to hear you're keeping busy, Andrew. I know summer vacation's over, guys. September is here. Although it's still technically summer. We got a week or two, don't we? All right, let's move up the card here, guys. We'll get back to your comments in a bit. Keep them coming, though. Blood Diamond going to shock the world? We'll see. The luckiest guy on earth, ladies and gentlemen, getting all this UFC, getting the fastest. Blood Diamond had an easier path to UFC than Bo Nickel. Seriously, he did. He had an easier path to the UFC than CM Punk. It's crazy. All right, moving up the card here. Carlos Ulberg against Da Jung. Now, you guys know how much I love the Korean fighters. They are tough as nails. Most of them have a really good chins. And I think Da Jung is actually not a bad fighter at all. Is he anything special, though? Is he, and this is what's annoying, is he a step up in competition for Carlos Ulberg? No, this is, and he's not a Ken, but he's not. And I hate to even say it's a layup, but this might be. It might be. Now, he's a tough son of a bitch, so that's why I say might. But anyways, we'll get into it here. Carlos Ulberg, 8-1 as a pro. Minus 295 favorite. He's out of New Zealand, part of the CKB crew, 32 years of age, on a 4-fight win streak. Man, he's got some power. 6 KO TKO, 0 submissions. He's never been submitted. 2 decisions. He's never lost via decision. He's never been submitted. He's lost once via KO TKO and won 6. 6 of his wins have come by KO TKO. 4-1 in the UFC, 1-0 in Contender Series. He beat that Ior Potieria, the guy who retired Shogun, who I mean, he's not. Oh wait, isn't that who it was? Yeah, he's not that great. The duelist, he's not that great. Beat Nikolai Negumereanu, who Negumereanu is a decent fighter. He is 13-1 when he fought him. Tafa was just cut from the UFC. He's not that great. 7-3 Fabio Charant. I mean, okay, he's fine. Took him to decision. Nzinjuku, good fighter. He lost to him, and when he was 4-0, no shame in that. Beat Bruno Oliveira. That's a good win when he was 3-0. I mean, so like that's the thing. Like he's beaten guys at that certain tier. The Oliveira, Nikolai, Sharon. Like I don't think Tafon's very good, so like I'm not even putting him in that tier. And then he takes a step back against Ior Potieria. I mean, record aside, because if you look at his record, there's not good wins on his record. I never thought he was that good. I just want to see what Carlos Ulberg can bring in the light heavyweight division against guys just outside or who are 15, 14, 13 in the rankings. Like Dustin Jacoby. That's who I want. Like that type of like who else is in the light heavyweight? Like let me know in the comments. I'll get back to them. I know in a little bit here, but we will scroll back to them. But like hovering around where Jacoby has in the rankings, either like 17-13. That's where I want to see Ulberg fight next. Daun Jung, though he's not a bad fighter, like I said. Is he really going to be? I mean, is anybody really picking him to win? Like, are we serious here? He is 2-2 in his last 4 fights. He's on a 2-fight losing streak. 15-4-1. Not a bad resume. 4-2-1 draw in the UFC. So not even a bad UFC showing as well, guys. 6-0 in Heat. 3-2 in Top Fighting Championship. Lost to Devin Clark. Devin Clark schooled him, and Devin Clark's fine. Devin Clark's nothing special. Lost to Dustin Jacoby. I like Dustin Jacoby personally. Great win against Nzinjuku. William Knight sucks, but hey, whatever. He's 9-1 at that time. Good win against him. Mike Rodriguez, 10-3, good win. Ibragimov, when he was 8-0, good win. 6-1, Milinkovic, good win. So honestly, he has, like I said, he's a tough son of a bitch. He's pretty good everywhere. 29 years of age, but I do think Carlos Ulberg just is gonna crack him. I don't think this goes decision. I think Ulberg just will wear him down. I think Daun Jung is one of those guys who's going to take a lot of damage in this one if it stays on the feet. And despite Daun Jung being actually a pretty good grappler, like he's strong in the clinch, I mean, Ulberg is just... have you seen Ulberg? He's going to just outmuscle him, I think, and just not allow him to employ his game plan. I'm going with Carlos Ulberg. That is my pick. Minus, 295. Daun Jung is strong, especially in the grappling department. Carlos is solid on the feet, and if he'll keep this on the feet, I think he'll eventually just wear him down. Shots to the body, leg kicks, and eventually crack him. And I think he'll crack him a few times, whether he drops him and he gets back up or just lands those big shots, knock his head back. Eventually, one of them is going to put him away. Huge power, but has not shown me that he is going to be anything special in the light heavyweight division yet, because we just haven't seen it. Now, he's beaten some decent guys. He's beaten the guys he's supposed to beat at this level. I just want to see more. Question for you guys. Is the UFC purposely building him up, Or are people scared to fight him? Because a lot of other MMA YouTubers, hell, even some of the pros were saying that, you know, this is the UFC, this is the UFC's guy. He's the pretty boy of the UFC. Are guys just scared to fight him? You know, hovering around that ranking? Let me know in the live chat. I think he's well-rounded. I think he's strong. I think he will outstrike Da Un Jung. That is my pick. Da Un Jung, I mean, put that on your degenerate parlay, man, because the guy is strong. The guy has heart. The guy has a chin. And again, we're going to get back to the comments after this next breakdown here, guys. Appreciate every single one of you for joining. Tyson Pedro against Anton Turkalj. This is on the pay-per-view. This garbage fight is on the pay-per-view. Congratulations, UFC. One meth fighter, one bad fighter on the pay-per-view to open that show. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm not a fan of Tyson Pedro. I'm really not. I mean, he seems like a nice guy. He's funny. He has moments where you're like, damn, okay, this is what the hype is about. And then it's like, you're standing there or you gas. Like, I get he's faced a lot of injuries throughout his young UFC career. He's only 31 years of age, but I'm not impressed with his performance. He's not put it together for an entire fight for me yet. And I know, like, not every fighter is gonna have a perfect fight. That's not necessarily it. I'm not that judgmental. I'm just saying, like, the bad moments outweighed the good in a lot of the fights. Whereas, like, I remember the bad more than I remember the good. And speaking of that, Anton Turkalj, he's one loss away from being cut. I'm telling you. All right, let's take a look at Tyson Pedro first. 9-4 as a pro. This one's almost a pick 'em. He's the slight favorite at -130. 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Or sorry, 2-3 in his last 5 fights. He is coming off a loss. And again, he's coming off a loss. He didn't look good in that at all. 4 KO, TKO, 5 submissions, 0 decisions. 5-4 in the UFC. Modestas Bukauskas beat him unanimous decision, and he should have beat him. And now, look, I like Modestas Bukauskas personally. He schooled him. Pedro, I think, maybe won a round. What was it, 1 or 2? But Modestas Bukauskas, I remember, like, winning 2 rounds, and there was no discussion about it. Modestas Bukauskas schooled him in the 3rd round. Beat Harry Hunsucker, you got it. Like, who hasn't? You know what I mean? Who hasn't? 18-13. What the hell, dude? He lost to Shogun in 2018. He lost to OSP. Okay, OSP was still actually pretty good in 2018, but still, he lost to Latifi. I guess Latifi was okay back then too, but still, man. Beat Paul Craig, beat Roundtree. Those are 2 great wins young in his career, but I don't know, man. Again, there are moments of greatness, and there's a lot but he leaves a lot that's to be desired. Looking at his opponent, though, I mean, but all that said, he is going to beat Anton Turkalj. It's Turkalj, right? That's how it's pronounced. I know people are saying Turkalj, but it's pronounced Turkalj. Saw this cat on Contender Series, good win on Contender Series. I don't even think he was given I don't even think it was a good win. I don't even think Dana gave him a contract, but he was eventually signed. 8-2 as a pro. He was undefeated on Contender Series. We're going into Contender Series. He's 27. He's young. He's out of Sweden. 3-2 in his last 5 fights. The pleasure, man. I will say he botched it at the press conference. Started off strong because one of the journalists, if you can even call some of these people who ask questions at MMA press conferences journalists, a lot of them are, and a lot of and the good ones, you know who you are. The bad ones, oof. But anyways, he was asked, what's up with your nickname? And he said, ask your wife. But then he said, after the fight, ask Pedro, and Pedro was like, huh? Anyways, 8-2 as a pro. He's on a 2-fight losing streak, like I said. 5 KO, TKO, 2 submissions, 1 decision, 0-2 in the UFC, 1-0 off Contender Series. I don't think he got a contract. Yeah, no, this fight was so boring, though he was still undefeated. I don't think he got a contract. Got absolutely schooled by Jailton Almeida. I mean, who hasn't recently, though? And then looked bad against Vitor Petrino. I know he was 7-0, but who the hell is Vitor Petrino? You know what I'm saying? Like, you Pratchino as well. But you know what I mean? Coming in, like he was a guy coming off Contender Series as well. Man, just no. I don't think he's that good. I don't think he's that good. I have Tyson Pedro winning this one, but who knows, man? Don't bet on this one. I have that in my notes. I have that in. Both are not good. Both are meh. One is probably bad. Pedro's fine. He's got power. He's strong. He's a good grappler when he doesn't gas. But even then, it's like some fights he has great cardio. Some fights he doesn't. Turkalj has never impressed me. It's simple as that. And Pedro's hard to trust if you're betting on this one. Stay away from this one in the betting odds unless you're going full degenerate, in my opinion. But I am picking Tyson Pedro. All right, one last fight here to run down, then we'll go back to the comments, folks. Justin Tafa versus Austen Lane as we move into the heavyweights here. What's up, Hernan? I see you, buddy. Justin, and this fight's being rebooked after a couple months ago. The fight ended due to a nasty eye poke on Justin Tafa. Austen Lane surprisingly was looking good in that first round. Let's get into it. Justin Tafa, he is the favorite, okay? He's the favorite. Minus 240. He is 29 years old. 6-3 as a pro in mixed martial arts. Obviously, the Tafa comes from a family of boxers and kickboxers, and he fought competitively in pro kickboxing before making the transition to mixed martial arts. 6 KO, TKO, 0 submissions. He's never been submitted, nor has he gotten a submission. Lost twice via decision. 3-3, 1 no contest, which was the eye poke in the UFC. 3-0 in Extreme Fighting Championship. Beat Parker Porter just like his brother recently did. Beat Harry Hunsucker. Again, those are 2 wins that, like, they're not impressive wins, but hey, knockouts nonetheless. Lost to Jared Van Dera, man. That's a bad loss. That's a bad loss. But is it worse than a Greg Hardy loss? That is the question. Beat Juan Adams, who's 5-2. Okay. And then beat a 3-1, 5-2. Which honestly, 5-2 in XFC, when you're 1-0, that's a good win. Justin Tafa, he's got a chin. He's got insane power. He's got that Samoan build. 6 feet tall. I mean, he's not short, but up against a 6'6" former NFL player, who NFL players are either really good at MMA or really bad, by the way. Let's just it's never in the middle. They either make it or they don't. And they crash and burn out like Greg Hardy and others. But Austen Lane, 12-3 as a pro. He is 4-0 in his last 4 fights, not including that no contest. He's 35 years of age. So he's got 6 years on Justin Tafa, and despite his physique being a little bit more shredded, a career playing football as well, might have a lot more miles on that body. Keyword might. I don't know that to be gospel at all. 11 KO, TKO, 1 submission, 0 decision. He has only knocked out or submitted his opponents, which I love to see. 1-1 in Contender Series, 1 no contest in his UFC debut against Tafa, and 0-1 in LFA. Put together a really good win streak since his loss to Vernon Lewis. 3-1 guy when you're 6-3, whatever. 5-9, 5-3. Okay, 8-3 is good. 6-3, 6-0. Not bad at all, given that he's finished all his opponents. Some of them good, some of them ain't. Again, not really a big fan of Fury FC. But, you can't hate on that win streak. You can't hate on him putting out his opponents, especially as a heavyweight. He did lose to Greg Hardy, though. He was 4-0 at the time. I'll give him that. But he lost to Greg freaking Hardy in the first round. Now, he's gotten clearly a lot better since that. But that's what I said. What's worse? A loss to Van Dera or a loss to Greg Hardy at any point in your young career? This one's tough, man, because Austen Lane has actually looked good in his last few fights. I know Tafa, kickboxing background. I mean, he's born into a family of fighting and good chin. Like, I don't think he's going to get knocked out. I don't think Austen Lane's going to put him out. Austen Lane, though, he's got the range. That's the thing. Tafa actually has decent reach for a Samoan body type. Let's just say that. But Austen Lane is just so much bigger than him. We saw that Justin Tafa kind of walked into that eye poke, trying to force his way into the pocket because that's where he's going to land those big shots. And if he connects clean, he will put Lane out because he's got that Tafa power. Austen Lane, I don't know if he'll be able to put him out with just that clean one shot. Maybe TKO if he drops him, ground and pound. But the path to victory for Lane is picking apart on the outside, the range shots, the kicks to the legs, the calf kicks, the jabs, and just not staying in that center lane where Tafa could break through that guard and land a straight one. Man, this one's tough. I think, honestly, this one should be closer in the betting odds, and I think Austen Lane is an incredible underdog, especially in the rematch. I picked Tafa to win the first time. I'm picking him to win the second time. And honestly, this isn't a good rundown at all, but I just have a feeling, and I wrote that in my notes too. I just have a feeling, dude. I can't explain it. Lane is a solid underdog. Like I'm saying, NFL to MMA, it's either hit or miss, and so far it looks like it is a hit, but I just have a feeling. Lane is not bad. I was a lot more critical of him going into their last fight, but I've actually admittedly watched some more of his recent fights. I've watched all his recent wins now, and I'm like, okay, he's not bad. Some of the regional guys, you just look at them too, and you're like, oh yeah, you're a can to crush, but some of them are actually decent. Tafa's power is special though. Austen Lane is good, but I don't think he's special. I don't think Justin Tafa himself is anything special, but I think he's got that Tafa power, and that is special. Used to strikers. He's a kickboxer. Used to heavyweight strikers. Probably has fought some lanky-ass motherfuckers in his day. Overall, he's a smaller heavyweight in stature compared to that of Austen Lane. Both are meh. Lane lost to Hardy. I'm going with Justin. Back to the comments we go. Incorrect, Darren. Manel Kape won the press conference. It's good to see you, Darren Squid. Justin has been known to walk into fists and fingers, apparently. This is the crappy pay-per-view, but let's hope for bangers. Yeah, I hope so as well. Flip a coin, says King James. Look how bad the UFC heavyweight division is. Yeah, it's so bad. Dude, Manel Kape, that was amazing. I'm so rooting for him. This is not a pay-per-view worthy card at all, Phony. I agree with you, buddy. So one string pony is not that good. You're a little hard on Hunsucker. He's not even 500. Yeah, but he's just not good. You know what I mean? Isha, thoughts on Crone Gracie? I go back to 80cc. Win your money there. It's MMA, dude. Like, that shit doesn't work anymore. And I was never really a fan of him before. Petrino didn't really hurt Anton. I don't know. I don't think he's very good at all. I mean, okay, maybe I'm being like super harsh on these guys. Like, there's nothing that stood out to make me want to pick them. You know what I mean? Like, and when I say they're not good, it means they're good everywhere. They're not great in a particular way where I think they're gonna formulate a game plan to expose their opponent utilizing their strengths. Petrino didn't really hurt Anton. Yeah, well, Anton didn't really hurt him, and Anton made it a very boring fight, and Anton didn't control that much position. He got schooled in that one, if I remember correctly. I got outstruck significantly. You're right though. Didn't show a lot of damage, but like, he's just, put it this way, he's just in boring fights. Is that fair? Yeah, Almeida's very good. Again, he may be a G with that comment. I just haven't seen him put it together at the highest level yet. I mean, give him credit for what? Going to work? Give me credit for going to work then, buddy. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you fought a hard opponent. Yes. Good for you. I said there was no shame in fighting him, if I'm not mistaken. There's no shame in losing to that. But like, you got schooled in that one. You got dealt an easier hand in the next one, and you still didn't look that good. I don't know. I thought he looked really bad on Contender Series despite the win. Not even really bad, just really bland. Not even bad. Every time that I said bad in regards to Turkalj, I mean, just bland. Like Gordon Ramsay, bland. You know what I mean? Bland as hell. What's up, Diego? Good to see you. I'm not going to the Cage Warriors event tomorrow. Instead, I'm going to the Bellator 300 event in San Diego. That's right. Cage Warriors is back in San Diego tomorrow. We will be streaming that. But, dude, that is awesome. You're going to have such a great time at Bellator. It's going to be... They're going to bring out all the bells and whistles for that one. Almeida will swallow up Ulberg. Yeah, agreed. Ulberg TKO, KO, DQ minus 150. What's up, Narashi? What's going on? I like Dustin Jacoby. And I honestly think he does as well. I just want to see him. I just want to see how he fares against those guys, you know? And lost to Devin Clark. Fell into a weird... Diamond is the guy that went the distance. Yeah, after getting mauled and thrown around. Oh, is that kickboxing? Okay, never mind. Isn't Blood Diamond the dude that started the fight by like running right into the cage? He slipped and tripped in the cage. I don't remember. Yeah, when he was 4-0 though. In 2018, so. Okay. Well, I don't know. I didn't know maybe if you're a fan of him. Everyone has a deep cut fighter that they're a fan of. But Justin got the hometown advantage. Yeah, Kron's got 0 stand-up. Petrino's a contender too, though. Petrino, contender series guy, yeah. I don't know, like Petrino's nothing. I like put it this way. I'm not like raising him over Turkalj, like saying, oh, I like him so much better. Like he was, if I recall correctly, because I didn't want to suffer through that fight again. Okay, it wasn't a great one to begin with. If I recall correctly, because I remember even I took some notes. I was really disappointed in Turkalj's performance there, because like didn't like undefeated, a lot of hype going in contender series, didn't get the contract because it was a boring ass fight. Got schooled by Almeida, so like whatever. I was like, okay, like I'm just gonna pretend like I didn't even see that because Almeida would like is schooling everybody, and then just didn't look like he just looked bland. That's what I'm saying. Gordon Ramsay, bland. I do give you credit, but I hear you. I'm a tough judge too. I'm just very disappointed when this card's trying to be positive. This is the second American male striker named Sean to main event a pay-per-view in a row. That is true. Jilton Almeida may be the toughest undersized fighter in any division. Not any division. There's some big freaking or undersized. Undersized. No, Frankie Edgar will always be the toughest undersized lightweight of all time, in my opinion. I predict Austen Scissorhands with wins by a high poke. What's up, Ethan? Good to see you, buddy. Underweight, undersized. Oh, it's Jeremiah Wells. What's up, Void Mate? It's been a while, dude. Good to see you. Yeah, I want to see him at light heavyweight just tear it up. What is up, Joker Girl? Darren Squid and Joker Girl in the chat here. This is awesome. Good to see you too. Jeremiah Fells. Boom, boom.
Oh my God.
Almeida is strong, but we have never seen him get cracked with a solid punch, though. So I don't know how tough Almeida is, but for sure is very strong. Yeah, I want to see him face better competition too. Jilton always comes in underweight. Yeah, because he's a small, he's a lighter heavyweight and a very big light heavyweight. The Pleasure Man is still a dope nickname. Did you hear at the press conference what he said when the reporter asked him about his nickname? He's like, ask your wife. That's all I want to highlight about that. Because then he proceeded to sink, the whole thing after that. I've been here just in the shadows. Oh, well, I appreciate the support, buddy. I appreciate the support in the shadows or in the light. You see that she's... yes. We all seen it, Ethan. That's why I think everyone here is rooting for Sean Strickland, but we all know what's going to happen there. Why is Tafa a favorite? He loses exchanges before... He was losing exchanges before the eye poke. Because he's got that power, dude. He's got that power. Again, I like I said at the beginning of this segment, I think that the odds should be a lot closer here. Honestly, I think Tafa should be the underdog, and I still would have picked him because it would have been like great underdog. But I think people are just trusting he's going to find that mark. Great underdog at plus 195. Now, again, because I said, like, Lane's better than I thought doesn't mean he's anything incredible either. Both these guys are meh. There's a lot of meh versus meh here on this card. But like I said, I'm going with Justin Tafa. This one could burn me. Let's move up the card here. We'll get back to the comments here in a sec. Oh, excuse me. In a sec, guys. All right. Featured fight on the card. And Kai Kara France. My goodness. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing up in the audience because Manel Kape, based Manel Kape, let me tell you, this guy stole the show, won everybody over, I think. And I want to see this guy fight Izzy next personally. Starboy Manel Kape, the Ryzen alumni, against Felipe dos Santos. Felipe dos Santos filling in for Kai Kara Francis. Kai Kara Francis had to pull out of this fight. 3 weeks. You had 3 weeks. 18-6 for Manel Kape. He's 29 years of age, trains out of Vegas from Portugal. On a 3-fight win streak, he's 3-2 in his last 5 fights. A minus 370 favorite. So again, taking this fight on short notice. 3 weeks. He's had a few weeks to prepare. Manel Kape, Kendrick Lamar. We don't really know. Everyone's posting the Damn album cover of Kendrick Lamar in response to Manel Kape's press conference. Training out of Extreme Couture, 11 KO TKO. He's never been knocked out. He's been submitted twice, but he's submitted his opponents 5 times as he has 5 wins via submission, 2 wins via decision. 6-3 in Ryzen. What a way to develop between 2017 and 2019. 3-2 in the UFC. 3 fights. 3 of his opponents have pulled out this year thus far. Alex Perez, Davison Figueiredo, and Kai Kara France. He beat David Dvorak via unanimous decision in his last fight. He knocked out Zaglas Zumagulov, who Zumagulov doesn't get knocked out easily. That guy has an iron chin. Beautiful flying knee against Ode Osborne. Lost split decision to Matuz Nicolau. Again, very close. And it went the distance against Pantoja in his UFC debut. They give you the future champ, Pantoja. I mean, and Pantoja was really good at that point too. So look, no shame in either of these 2 losses. He's gone on a streak since. Look at the guys that he's beaten in Ryzen. Kaya Sakura is solid. He fought Hiraguchi, lost in the 3rd round. Hiraguchi is one of the best fighters outside the UFC in this division. His only 2 losses have been to Demetrius Johnson. Well, one, I think he went 11-1 in the UFC, did Hiraguchi, and his only loss was to Demetrius Johnson, which is absolutely insane. Beat Ian McCall also in Ryzen. Yeah, Manel Kape, he's an absolute beauty, and he's going to run through this kid, I believe. He's 22 years of age, 7-0 as a pro, plus 290 out of Sao Paulo, Brazil, and he trains out of Shooter Box. So look, he's dangerous. Anyone coming out of Shooter Box, anyone with that Super Saiyan dyed hair with Charles Oliveira in their corner is dangerous, okay? 2 KO, 2 KO, 3 submissions, 2 decisions, 1-0 in LFA. And he's fought some decent guys. Hugo Paiva, solid opponent. 5-0 when he was 6-0, beat a 5-2 guy, 2-2, 5-0, 6-1, all when he was 3-0, 4-0, and 5-0. I mean, again, this kid could be a killer, but that's the thing. He's a kid. He's 22 years of age, taking this fight on relatively short notice, fighting a guy high up in the rankings like Manel Kape. Felipe dos Santos, Great camp, great training partners, just still so young. He's just not ready for Manel Kape. So going Manel Kape on this one. This could be the biggest upset on the card, though, if he like lands some crazy, Charles Oliveira shooter box style flying knee. But it's nothing that Manel Kape hasn't dealt with before. His striking is so clean. He's got so much power. Yeah, Manel Kape. I mean, this should be a good fight. I think Manel Kape is going to win if it goes to decision, quote unquote one-sided, but I think there's going to be some good moments and there should be some fun striking exchanges in this one. All right, co-main event of the evening. I'll get back to your guys' comments before we hang up the gloves and end the show here after we run down these last two fights, but talk amongst yourselves and keep the comments coming, guys. Appreciate the interaction. Co-main event, Tuivasa against Alexander Volkov in this heavyweight fight. Tuivasa took some much-needed time off after suffering back-to-back losses. Zero gone. And then why do I always forget the friggin' big Russian's name? Not Volkov. Pavlovich. Oh my goodness. I don't know why I always brain fart Pavlovich. I just always freaking this Spivak's name comes to mind. I'm like, no, I don't want to talk about the friggin' polar bear who's not that great. Pavlovich is an absolute beast. So Tuivasa took a lot of damage from both of those two fights and took them, I believe, four months apart. So I'm glad he took some time off. Hopefully he has recovered. 15-5 for Bam Bam Tuivasa. He is 3-2 in his last 5 fights on a 2-fight losing streak. 30 years of age, fighting from his home crowd in Sydney. He is the slight underdog at plus 170. Always a fun fighter to watch. Always a fun fighter to watch win, as you guarantee he's going to do a shoey. 14 KO, TKO, 0 submissions. He's lost once via submission. He has 1 win via decision. So he pretty much, how the fight's going to go. He's either going to lose or win via KO, TKO. 8-5 in the UFC. Like I said, brutal damage in these last 2 losses. Put up a good fight against Cyril Gane for as long as it lasts. Actually knocked down Cyril Gane at one point, played possum at another point, almost cracked Cyril Gane with that right hand. He got absolutely destroyed, though, by Sergey Pavlovich. Bum rusher, and Pavlovich put him out in that first round, beat the crap out of him. He did have a good win against Derek Lewis. Nice elbow after cracking him. Beat Augusto Sakai, but Augusto Sakai's not that great. Especially at that point in his career, I believe Augusto Sakai was on a 2-fight losing skid at that point, and then eventually went on like 2 or 3 more before getting cut. He beat Greg Hardy, but Greg Hardy sucks. Beat Harry Hunsucker, but Harry Hunsucker's not that great either. Beat Stefan Struve, which, you know what? That's a good win. Now I know Stefan Struve was a little long in the tooth, but that just showed that he can fight taller heavyweights, much like in Alexander Volkov, who is one of the most I don't want to say underrated, because I think every fan of mixed martial arts, fan of the UFC, knows how good he is, but underappreciated. He's a damn good heavyweight. He's one of the only heavyweights outside of Aspinall and Gane who can move, who has good footwork, who actually has some swift striking. He's got a karate background, very well versed in jiu-jitsu now, and just grappling. And he's kind of yoked. He's Yokedov, not Volkov anymore. The more he finished his tattoo, the more Drago beefed up as well. Minus 200. He is the pretty big favorite here. 34 years of age. 34 years, a young man. 36-10 in his pro MMA career. 3-2 in his last 5 fights, and he's on a 2-fight win streak. I said I'll get back to the comments here in a sec, but we got a donation, so I have to address here. Thank you so much, Anthony on TV, for the $5 donation. Appreciate you, brother. Love the stream, brother. I got Austen Lane and Tuivasa in a parlay for plus 740. $25 to win 200. And then I got Sean Strickland, 125 to win 700. Wait, good luck on your bets. If you've been watching along, you know I don't have Austen Lane, but I do think that is a good underdog. Tuivasa. Well, I'm going to get to if I'm picking him or not, but I mean, those are good underdog picks there, and I wish you all the luck. Thank you so much for the donation, brother. Seriously, you've been going above and beyond in supporting this channel. Not only have you been just hanging out with us on all of our live streams, commenting, liking, like everyone here, and I thank everyone here. But you've also been donating as well. So thank you so much. Appreciate you. $5 here on a Thursday night, chilling, going through my picks. Thank you so much, Anthony on TV. Appreciate you, brother. Glad you liked the show. Okay, we'll get back to the comments again here, folks. Just had to show Anthony some love. And then we'll get back to all your guys' comments here in a sec. Volkov, again, thanks, Anthony. Appreciate you, man.
That shit beautiful than a motherfucker.
36 wins, 10 losses, 24 KO TKOs, 3 submissions, 9 decisions, 10-4 in the UFC between 2016 and 2013. And he was in Bellator between 2012 and 2015. 6-3 in Bellator. He's a little bit, he was a light heavyweight in Bellator, moved up to heavyweight, and now has actually put on some muscle into his 30s, and he looks good, man. Really good win against Alexander Romanov. Really good win against Jairzinho Rosenstrike. Lost to Tom Aspinall, but I mean that's no shame in losing to Tom Aspinall. Beat Marcin Tybura. Lost to Cyril Gahn, but that was honestly a closer decision than I think people think. Beat Alistair Overeem. Beat Walt Harris. Lost to Curtis Blades. No shame in losing to Tom Aspinall. Cyril Gahn in a close fight. And Curtis Blades beat Greg Hardy, but again, who hasn't? Was schooling Derek Lewis until Derek Lewis had that tremendous comeback and landed that TKO late in the 5th round. Beat Fabricio Verdum, former champion. Beat Stefan Struve, Roy Nelson, Tim John. I mean, look at his wins in the UFC. And even in Bellator, beat Czech Congo in Bellator. Or sorry, lost Czech Congo in Bellator. But he fought Czech Congo in Bellator. You went to decision with him. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't, again, I think he gets the recognition he deserves from the hardcore MMA fans like us here, but to the public, I don't think people, like, again, I don't want to say he's underrated, but I think he's underappreciated. I think people know how good he is. He's been a staple in the division for a while. He's been one of the better heavyweights for a while in the UFC, and he's been a top fighter in two of the better promotions, right? Bellator and obviously UFC, the best promotion. What did I say in my notes here, folks? What did I say in my notes here? All comes down to power and cardio, and ultimately Tai Tuivasa's chin. Assuming Tai Tuivasa's chin is okay, you know, assuming Tai Tuivasa didn't get didn't get Chuck Liddell'd based off his last 2 losses and now will go down easier, I think it just comes down to power and cardio. Tai Tuivasa has great calf kicks, but Volkov, he's got some unbelievable kicks too. Push kicks, body kicks, high kicks. He's a lot lankier. I think this is a close fight, honestly. I think this is going to be a close fight. Volkov moves so smooth. Karate background, and like I said, he's bulked up too, so he's got some power in those rangy jabs and shot. Tai, better KO power. We all know this. 14 KO TKOs. Volkov, though, he outworks you. Volkov's never just going to, like, I shouldn't say never, but against that of a Tai Tuivasa, again, assuming he wasn't changed because of his last 2 losses and his chin is gone, I don't think Volkov has that just straight power that, you know, a heavyweight like Tai Tuivasa has that will just put you on your ass. So I think that's where he'll break you down with the body shots. He'll break you down with the leg kicks, the jabs, the hooks. Which Tai Tuivasa he only needs 1, right? I think, oh man, I do like Volkov overall. Oh man, this one's tough. I am going to push my chips in and assume that Tai's chin is okay. If he goes down with an easy shot by Volkov, I don't think I'm ever going to pick Tai Tuivasa ever again, but I'm picking him to win this one. This is the riskiest pick that I am choosing on this card, ladies and gentlemen. So that's kind of gives away my last pick, but there was kind of no surprise there. I really like Volkov. I think Tai finds the chin before Volkov puts him out, and I think the only way Volkov puts him out is a high kick or a body kick, or a few body kicks. I think Tai finds it. He's the underdog, plus 170. I hope he finds it. I hope he finds that shot in the pocket, man. Tai Tuivasa actually has quite a bit of reach for being a guy who's 6'2" and, you know, his Samoan type frame. 75 inches of reach, but you look at that of Alexander Volkov, who, by the way, Volkov, just an inch taller than Austen Lane. 80 inches of reach. I mean, Volkov is hands down the more well-rounded fighter, hands down the more experienced martial artist, and I would say MMA fighter. But he doesn't have that one dangerous. It only takes one from Tuivasa, right? It only takes one. So I'm going for him. I'm rooting for him. Maybe this is a little bit of bias, but kind of like the Tafa pick. I just have a feeling. And it's not even like I'm a crazy big fan. Like, I like Bam Bam. I like the antics. He's a lovable character. But I like Volkov just the same. So I neither like one of these guys more than the other. I just have a feeling he's going to find that shot. So I'm picking the underdog on that one, but Alexander Volkov is one dangerous fighter. And a win over Tuivasa and maybe even one more win in heavyweight, and he's right up there in the mix as well. And again, 34 years young, baby. 34 years young. I think Volkov's got a few more years left in him. All right, main event of the evening. Again, like and subscribe if you haven't already. We'll get to your guys' comments before we end here. And if you're watching this video and you aren't in the live chat, we'll comment on the video. Love to interact with you guys. Even if we're not live here. For the middleweight title, Israel Adesanya against Sean Strickland. Israel Adesanya, the last style bender, 24 wins, 2 losses. He is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. His only loss coming to Alex Pereira. Of course it is. He is the huge favorite at -600. He's from China. He's 34 years from Nigeria, reigning out of Auckland, New Zealand, but also Chinese. Honorary Chinese citizen. But a dishonorary Chinese citizen. 16 KO TKO, 0 submissions, win or losses, 8 decisions, 13-2 in the UFC, 4-0 in Wulin Fang, where he's also fought kickboxing, by the way, in Wulin Fang. Avenged those losses, I should say, to Alex Pereira in that last fight. Before then, beat Jared Cannonier, Robert Whittaker, Marvin Vittori, lost to Jan Blachowicz in light heavyweight when he moved up, beat Paulo Costa, Yoel Romero, Robert Whittaker, Kelvin Gastelum. This is one of the best fights, by the way, Israel Adesanya's ever been a part of. The only reason Kelvin Gastelum lost that fight is because he has zero fight IQ, or he had zero fight IQ at that time. Beat Anderson. Now, Anderson Silva was really long in the tooth at that point, but still, that was really cool to see. Beat Derek Brunson, Brad Tavares, Marvin Vittori, Robert Wilkinson, Stu Dare, Melvin Gillard. Now, I watched that. I mean, it was an easy win against Melvin Gillard, but man, the who's who, especially upon entering the UFC, cleaning out the division. Now he's going up against who we all are rooting for, USA. You got a Canadian over here screaming USA, US. Even Don Cherry's got the thumbs up, USA. Let's go, Strickland. Knock out this very, very sick individual. I'll keep it at that. Knock him out. Choke him out. Go for the single leg, Sean Strickland. Put him out. Choke him out. Choke him out. I'm the puppy, bitch. Choke him out. I don't know. I don't know if actually you want to say that. But anyway, Sean Strickland. 27 wins, 5 losses. 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Plus 440 underdog. Fought at welterweight when he entered the UFC. Got in a terrible motorcycle accident. Put him out for 2 years. His said his quad has never been the same. His knees have never been the same. And he actually was a really good grappler. He still is a strong grappler, but he employed it more at welterweight. Changed up both kind of his, I don't want to say changed up his persona, but kind of got a little bit louder and changed up his style, moved up to middleweight after his accident upon coming back to the UFC. And, he's been gaining popularity ever since. 11 KO TKO, 4 submissions, 12 decisions, 14-5 in the UFC, 12-0 in King of the Cage. That is impressive. King of the Cage, much like Bama, was one of those only the hardcores like myself and a lot of you in the live chat would watch when we were younger. It was one of the more savage, but still high level regional shows. King of the Cage and Bama, man. Bama out in England, King of the Cage in the States. Two great wins. Nasruddin Imavov and Abus Magomedov for Sean Strickland. He's been so active in 2023 and the later parts of 2022. Lost to Jared Cannonier in a very, very close decision. I actually had him winning that one. Alex Pereira knocked him the fuck out. Beat Jack Hermanson. Beat Uriah Hall. Christoph Jotko. Brendan Allen. Jack Marshman. Nordine Talib. All good wins, man. All good wins. You didn't put out Court McGee. By the way, shout out to Court McGee. Court McGee still was ripping it up in 2017. Still not ripping it up today. Lost to Kamaru Usman back in 2017. It's crazy how long he's been in the UFC. Sean Strickland. Just always game to fight. He's got an awkward style. I mean, oh man, look, we're rooting for him. We're rooting for who is the actual villain, though, in this scenario? That's the thing. I think Adesanya is actually the villain. I was going to say, are we all rooting for the villain? No, I mean, not to say that he's the hero, but the anti-hero is better than the villain in this case, in my opinion. Goddamn, folks. Goddamn. Look, Israel Adesanya, that is my pick. As much as I hate to admit, that is my pick. I'm rooting for Sean Strickland, but Israel Adesanya is my pick. I can't pick against him. I can't be biased. Israel Adesanya, the fighter, not the person, but the fighter. Dangerous striker, man. Dangerous striker. There's there's person, JL, who thinks he's better than Anderson Silva, but, he continues to clean out this division. He continues to beat the best of the best in the UFC. I mean, there's definitely an argument there as far as legacy, putting their legacies up against each other, that he is going to be one of the greatest, if not the greatest middleweight of all time. When all things said and done, I still will always say, and this is fact, so I don't know why people say Izzy right at this point, if you put them head to head, is the better middleweight of the GOAT middleweight. When you look at their resumes, other than Whitaker. Because Whitaker, I think, is awesome. Like, Anderson Silva's resume, unbelievable. Anderson Silva cleaned out the division, moved up to light heavyweight, and actually beat guys at light heavyweight, okay? Just saying. Just beat former champs and future champs at light heavyweight, just saying. So I still think, there's not even a comparison, but you look at the wins, 14-2 in the UFC, and respectively cleaned out a division. He's fucking dangerous, okay? And it's not his fault that in this era, this timeline, that the middleweight division isn't as stacked as it was back in the day, but that's not Izzy's fault. He's clean through. He's clean through it. Izzy's got decent takedown defense. Sean Strickland, I haven't seen him employ his grappling much recently at all. He's a good brawler with an awkward style that doesn't have a good guard. Izzy Adesanya will be able to pick through that guard via rangy hooks or just straight shots down the middle. Sean Strickland keeps his leg, doesn't really check leg kicks at all. He stands very straight and kind of stoic, doesn't move side to side much. So I think his legs will be open for Adesanya. If he gets in the pocket, look, he's a good brawler. He's a good straight brawler in the pocket. I think his only path to victory is grappling. I really do. Now, and even that being said, Israel Adesanya might stuff his takedowns, might out-strength him up against the cage, or jockeying for position, trying to get better underhooks. He very well might, because he's a big, strong fighter as well. But I think Sean Strickland's realistic path to victory, I don't think he's knocking him out. Can he ground and pound him? Maybe, if he gets the better position, but on the ground, or in the perfect world, tags him and jumps all over him. Tags him, drops him, jumps all over him. But I can't see that. I think his path to victory is a boring fight, making this fight boring. Do I think Sean Strickland's going to do that? No, I don't. I don't think he's going to go full Pereira, and I don't think Adesanya has that power like Pereira had. Adesanya doesn't have that left hook. I'm sorry. Adesanya has hard shots, don't get me wrong, and he might drop Strickland, but I don't think he's going to put him out pretty much put him out. He didn't put him out cold, but put him out like Alex Pereira. He might drop flash, drop him. Strickland will get back up to his feet. That sort of thing. So I do think this goes a few rounds. I don't think Adesanya takes him out in the first round. I don't see it going to decision, but round 3, round 4, and if it does go to decision, I truly think Adesanya will be the clear winner to us all. So like I said, Sean Strickland, his path to victory is making this a boring fight. His path to victory is grappling, in my opinion. catching body kicks, sweeping, getting on top, maybe even going for a submission. All right, before we give out our City Life project in association with Volkan, our degenerate parlay of the week. Let's catch up on some of these comments here. I'll actually read them in order. Again, thank you so much, Anthony on TV. Appreciate you, buddy. When Izzy stood up to Manel, that fool line he threw at Strickland kind of bit him in the ass. Yes, Manel Cap schooled Izzy in that. Schooled everyone and threw the water bottle at Kaikar France. It was amazing. I like Tafa and hope he gets it done, but the half foot taller Austen lane is a tough one. No, it is. It is totally. Do you see this main card comp? It's very subpar. Do I see it competitive? I don't. Man, this card is honestly such a sleeper. Amazing matchmaking, even if it's not the highest level. I think there'll be good fights. There's just not a lot of name recognition anyway. And there's not a lot of name recognition, that would get you to buy it. And there's not a lot of name recognition to market multiple fights on the card. Oh, I love Manel, dude. If you followed him in Ryzen, Phony, he's dude. Manel's an absolute beauty. You're not on social media either, but like he is a character. I love it. I was like, okay, Manel's got a little some, his fighting definitely, like, I'm a huge fan of, like, put it this way. People say there's no smack talkers in Ryzen. This guy came from Ryzen and he backs it up. I absolutely love it. 293 is a soft pay-per-view. Yeah, Volkan Almeida stood with Shamil, then Shamil cracked him. Gelton immediately shot in, and you know the rest. Manel and Drickus are the real Africans. Izzy's Chinese and Usman is American. King James, again, thank you so much for joining. Same with you, Phony. Phony says we're not ready for him. We're ready for you, buddy. I'll drop as many likes as I can from all my accounts, from all my channels. Well, it's 2 channels. I got a small bet on Dos Santos. Good prospect, in my opinion. He's good. He's good. I just think it'll be a massive upset. And I only watched the LFA fight. But no, putting a little some on that. Respect. I look like Robbie Lawler and Mark Wahlberg combined and sound like 50 Cent. Got a question. Drickus intellect for passing a title shot with 6 weeks to prep. He's clearly like something's banged. Like there's clearly an injury there where he's like, I'm not risking it going into a title fight. And by the way, CKB with their you got it. Title shots, are given to you. They're not necessarily earned. They're given to you. You got to take it, even injured. Yet, that mentality. Oh, you got to take your fight, even if you're banged up. That's training camp. Everyone's banged up. Yet, Kaikar France doesn't take the fight with 3 weeks left. Just saying. Yeah, Ty got absolutely destroyed by Pavlovich. I got $10 on Ty at plus 200. I wish you the best of luck.
That shit beautiful than a motherfucking.
The press conference was wild. Compared to recent ones, Manel Cap made it a good one. Sean didn't go as scorched earth as I thought he would. Go though. And what Phony? That's true too. And the weight cut, he's massive, so that is true. What's up, Igor? It's good to see you. Dana will make him wait for passing up an opportunity. I don't know. I think Dana likes Drickus personally. I mean, actually, well, he didn't sound too upset, or he did sound pretty upset. But I mean, who else is there? That's the thing. Who else is there in the middleweight division? No, see, that's the thing. And his weight cut. That's a good point by Phony. Dude, yeah, Volkov is a beast. 100%, Ethan. 100%. Again, big shout out to Anthony on TV for the donation. Appreciate you. Well, and he had an injury. Like they clearly had an injury and didn't want to risk it going into the most important fight of his life. I don't blame him. Let's go, Anthony. Yes, thank you so much. No, it's true, Phony. I definitely, and being injured, yeah, right after a fight. Anthony, I might tail you small at the lane Tuivasa parlay. Let's cash. No, that's true. Pros will TKO Strickland, in my opinion. Anthony, I've been doing really good on my underdog picks this month, so it might be a good idea. Izzy's got that dog. I don't want to finish that sentence because it might be literally true. I got Volkov, don't mind Ty. Yeah, I mean that's the riskiest pick out of all the picks. There's not many that I'm like, I'm really risking it. There's a couple, like maybe the Tafa is a risky one. The Tuivasa one I think is the riskiest pick for me. I just really want Sean to win. I know chances are low, but Izzy's a weirdo, and Sean would be a really wild champ. It would be awesome to see 2 American champions, both named Sean in the UFC. Sign me up. Everyone agrees Izzy wins, but everyone wants Sean to win. And hey, when that happened last, who won? We all thought that another fighter was Aljamain Sterling was going to beat Sean O'Malley, and O'Malley gets it done. But O'Malley, yeah. Izzy striking is way better than Sean's, every aspect of it, even in awkwardness. Will Strickland grapple and use his advantage? Probably not. He's stupid. It could be funny, but I guess he also will choose his opponent, not fight Khamzat. Khamzat needs at least 1 win in the division, and then, by all means, throw him into the fire. Wouldn't be the first upset. No, that's true. With Volkov, it isn't about the chin. Gone destroyed Ty's body. Volkov going to destroy Ty's body. No, that's true. But, like, it's going to take a couple rounds, right? What I'm talking about is straight one-punch power. That was my comparison when I mentioned chin. Volkov is not going to land 1 shot on Ty and put him out. So, if anything, you're agreeing with me there. And I get what you're saying. Volkov is going to pick the body of Ty apart. He's going to land volume. I'm not talking volume over 3 rounds even, but volume over at least 1 round of damage before he crumbles, right? That's what Cyril Gane did. Whereas Ty, if he lands clean, you're going to sleep. Like he didn't land clean on Cyril Gane. He just grazed him, and Gane with some momentum too fell down. So I'm in your camp. I think we're both in the same camp there. But that's what I mean. Like it comes down to the power and or cardio, and I guess in that sense, how much you can take if you're Ty Tuivasa. You gotta hope that Ty Tuivasa, if you're in his camp, if you picked him like me, has worked on his lower guard, I guess. But Volkov's kicks to the body, even just those straight push kicks, are very dangerous. Sarah beat GSP. Yeah, but I don't think Sean Strickland has that knockout power to take out Izzy. He might. Got Tuivasa here, but I see it being a coin flip. Strickland would fight Khamzat in a heartbeat. Dude is fearless. Izzy will probably best Izzy DDP vacant challenge for light heavyweight title, maybe against Alex. I don't think so. I don't think he's going to light heavyweight ever again. That's me personally. I think he retires at middleweight. It wouldn't totally surprise me if Sean finds a win, but yeah, we all know the deal. But a lot of people said the same thing about DDP versus Robert. Winner of Costa versus Chimaev will challenge Izzy next. I think DDP's first in line personally. I don't think Chimaev can handle Costa. I'm excited for that fight. Costa's really strong and hits much harder than Burns. See, Phony and I are on the same page there. The fact that Burns was able to go the distance and beat up Khamzat Chimaev despite losing, I think like technically Burns is more sound everywhere than Costa, given like skill-wise, but Costa's way stronger than Burns. And you're telling me that Costa's not going to be able to defend a takedown or at least employ a few reversals and grapple? I think it's going to be good. Nice hoodie. You've got the same one. Yeah, shout out to the City Life Project merch store. Again, just like I don't ask you guys to ever donate or ask, like I don't ask for donations, don't ask for memberships. I'm never going to, I never pump the merch store. If you guys ever want to pick up a hoodie much like this, support the City Life Project a little bit more. It's quite simply thecitylifeproject.com. China will never lose. Man, it will make my weekend. Is he humbling all the loudmouths fans? I'm so confused on your allegiance, JL. I literally read your Discord and then I see that comment. I am so confused, but it's good to see you. Hamzat can struggle. People in the UFC, or many people in the UFC, I think. I got Izzy by KO here. USA. You'll never catch me cheering on the arrogant American. But you're cheering on the Chinese lover of animals. Strickland needs to take Gaslam approach and stay tight inside. Yes. Robert tried doing what Kelvin did and look what happened. Yeah, Robert won the second fight. Strickland needs to fight smart. That is true. He needs to either stay in close or grapple. King James. Sean and Kape will win for Africa. And with that, we enter the degenerate parlay of the week. I got Izzy and Ulberg by TKO, KO, DQ, and Blood Diamond moneyline for a plus 1,000 degenerate parlay. You could change Blood Diamond into something else. There's Volkan's degenerate parlay. I think Sean beat Jared. That was a terrible fight. That was a boring fight. Sean, don't use him. Izzy and Sean are both the anti-heroes, if you ask me. I guess so. Except I'm backing Sean Strickland in this one. I like rooting for the underdogs anyways. And with everything that has further come out on Israel Adesanya, I'm good. I'd like to see the underdog win in this one. It's less about it just being Sean Strickland and it being an underdog that no one's giving a chance to win against the creep that is Israel Adesanya. And that's the thing too. Everyone's like, oh man, Israel Adesanya is so... He's legendary like Anderson Silva. No. Anderson Silva would have never got caught following those Twitter accounts. Never put out social media content that Izzy put out. The worst thing Anderson Silva did was to go on the Conor McGregor treatment, get on the juice to heal his leg so he can come back and fight, make checks, and train his sons. What an unbelievable human being and the best UFC fighter of all time. The best middleweight fighter of all time. Strickland ain't down with the woke agenda. Sean is going to walk him like a dog. I just hope for a banger. So JL Lieben was the top ranked middleweight at that time. And he was actually very good. Lieben was on a win streak too. And I think was ranked number 2 in the division. JL just cannot stand Anderson Silva, and I don't know why. And he doesn't watch his fights. The only fight JL's ever seen of Anderson Silva is against Israel Adesanya. Everyone says Strickland can roll, but I've seldom noticed. I think Sean can hurt Izzy. He's going to learn from Alex. I was a beast. Alex or Sean said, yeah, well, in fairness, Sean's legs got pieced apart by Abbas in that first round. Strickland got to close distance and avoid stand-up range to have the best chance. Agreed. I could see like a 4th round TKO. I think Sean needs to jump Izzy, just run at him and make it a short fight if he wants the best chances. I think grappling will get him in trouble. Can't wait to see how this turns out. This fight is similar to the Costa fight. Let's see this weekend. That is true. As far as, Costa can grapple, but he's not like crazy high level grappler. Costa has shorter arms. I still think the reach of Strickland is more than Costa, though. But no, that's a good comparison, JL. No, I did agree. Put on a show, not hating on that. Strickland got kind of annoying, saying the same thing the whole conference. I think the UFC told him to keep it tame, personally, because he wasn't himself in that conference. Can't wait for Saturday. I can't. Glory also, by the way, guys. Glory before the UFC on Saturday. So join us for that. Two Brazilians named Alex stalked UFC champ, beating them multiple times. I wish Sean went harder too at the press conference. Sean knows Izzy's no joke. Oh, Rigo, sorry I missed your comment, buddy, but I have Pedro. I think I put it this way, Rigo, and you can scroll back in the video if you missed it, but I think they're both. I don't think either of them are very good, but I think Pedro is better if he has a good night. So, like, I would stay away from that one if you're betting on it, and that's what I said in my breakdown. I would just stay away on that one because Tyson Pedro, if like higher ceiling, low floor, if he doesn't show up with his cardio training intact, if he had a bad weight cut, if he's just off, then he has a bad night and only shows good for like 3-4 minutes of the entire fight. Turkalj has not impressed me at all. And quite frankly, I've only watched his Contender Series, his 2 UFC fights, the Almeida fight aside. Didn't like his Contender Series win. Didn't like his last fight at all. So if you're still here, Rigo, Pedro is my pick on that one. Andrew, you missed my episode of the Soda Pod earlier tonight. You can watch it again, Andrew. JL, I have no idea what you're talking about. You're bringing Kevin Woodley in the mix now? JL, red herring. Red herring. I'm going to call out red herring. Red herring. Very different things. Red herring, my man. Red herring. Andrew, I gave down my whole breakdown. JL, do you want Izzy to win or not? Because in the Discord you said you weren't backing him, and now in the live chat you saying you are to get everyone riled up. Trolling. Who wants to see asking? Not at all. No interest. Didn't have any interest the first time. Don't have any interest now. But thank God, at least we saw a good highlight. Doggy style. Shane's good with his comments. Is slacking down. Shane? Who's Shane? Shane doesn't do a podcast. Again, Jay, I disagree there's a double standard. You keep saying there's a double standard. I disagree. And you didn't give me facts last night when we were having a friendly argument in the Discord either. You didn't pull the red herring last night. I'll give you credit. Keyword few. Keyword few. That is true. That is true. And Lewis is Lewis. Hello, brother. Just wanted to say hi. Victoria told me about you, and she supports you a lot. Mohammed, shout out Mohammed. Thank you so much for joining, buddy. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. JL, nobody thinks he's going to win. I don't know where you're getting that narrative. See, this is why I think you say, oh, you should. It's so annoying when you say you troll me. Dude, we literally had a conversation in the live chat last night in our Discord. I read through your comments, and you ultimately said, I'm not backing Izzy. I'm not backing him after everything that happened. And everyone in our chat, everyone on Twitter, everyone in this chat believes ultimately Izzy is going to win. Just because there's a few people betting on the underdog here doesn't mean in their hearts they believe Sean Strickland is the better fighter. I don't know where you're getting this narrative from, dude. I really don't. And that's why I think you're making it up to just, stir the pot in the live chat and get a reaction out of everybody. And you know what? You won again because you just got one out of me. What's up, Activate A? Hogger Home is back. Oh man, I'm so behind in the comments. My apologies. All right, I'm scrolling through because I still have to get my degenerate pick. See you later, Anthony on TV. Robert did win the second fight. Rising cards are coming. Rising 44 and landmark cards are stacked. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Was it Rising 42? Dude, Ryzen 42, Gravedigger Jones, JL stayed up all night to watch those, which was awesome. JL and I bonded that night, actually. Which is why JL, like, I don't have a problem with JL. I know some of you guys go back and forth, JL, and some people in the chat. I don't have a problem with JL. JL and I, we fight like brothers now. There's just some contradictions that I notice. I at least stand my ground and stick to my guns here. I don't know, JL, you hop around a little bit. And I think it's to stir the pot, buddy. I really do. Any fighter can surprise, but let's just be honest. Like, no one here believes he is going to win. If he wins, anything can happen in this crazy sport, right? But like, I don't understand. I mean, people are, but I think you have the right to at that point, JL. When you put that out there, you have the right to be criticized and ridiculed. Yes, sir. I read out the degenerate parlay, both Izzy and Ulberg by TKO, Blood Diamond. For a plus 1,000 tag, you could change Blood Diamond with another underdog, also plus 1,000 tag. Attaboy, you did your research. Would be a great middleweight today. You told me he wasn't the last time we talked. And that was one of the reasons why you said that Silva wouldn't, he wasn't fighting the same competition. So sorry I misread that here. Ishii missed a very good Brave CF card. Today, all the underdogs won 5-5. All crazy finishes apart from co-main, which was a crazy war. I know I missed it. I'm sorry, guys. I had to work. I had to work and then prep for this. But I did see some of the highlights on Kaposa's channel, and I will be checking out the card here before bed. I got about like 45 minutes before I go to sleep after I sign off here. So I'll definitely check that out. Sorry, JL, I misread it there, but we've had I assumed, which I probably shouldn't, and I'm trying to get through the comments quickly here, so I read it quickly, and I know you've used Lieben in a counter argument before, so that's where I take notes, by the way, on our arguments, JL. And Lieben, I know you didn't like Lieben before, so look, that's what I'm saying. You change your heart. I'm glad because Lieben's, he was a stud, but there you go. Let's see if Sean even makes weight. I think Sean will make weight. I don't know why, but I feel like Sean might actually take this serious and attempt to wrestle. I think that's his path to victory. Strickland is doing his best to sell the fight, and some folks getting tricked. If anything, the MMA guru is selling the fight more than Strickland in that sense, King. He'll probably get stuffed with the takedowns and get his legs chopped, but at least he's going to attempt them. I'm not backing anyone, but I'm playing devil's advocate. Well, going with the favorite isn't devil's advocate. Am I too invested in the drama? Twitter's ruining the sport for me. That's and Jail. How many times? And how many times have I told you not to listen to the trolls, man? Why do you take anything that the trolls say as gospel? I don't get it. Yeah, this is where we all stand, brother. Just so we can be clear. Kai Car France has a concussion, though. Big difference. Andrew, now Andrew's going ham. African Prince is the next one on the menu. He's his next meet since he's a dog. There, I critiqued Is He Happy? Honestly, that was really good.
That shit beautiful than a motherfucker.
I'm screenshotting this because we may never see this again. Yeah, I'm giving you props for this. You're honestly the bigger man for this. Funny when a fan asked Strickland if he knows about Israel and his dog, and Strickland ran away and said, "You're trying to get me in trouble." That's what I think. Strickland actually kept his mouth shut more than I think we hoped he would, and just the fans as a whole. Manel Kape was the best part of the press conference. Jail, can we agree that Manel Kape was the best part of the press conference? Can we agree on that, buddy? Can we end on a positive note, agreeing on that? I don't want us ending in a sparring match here. Standing in front of Izzy and waiting to counter has never been successful. All right. Before we wrap this up, as I caught up on the comments, thank you guys so much for all the comments here. This was amazing. I appreciate every single one of you. This has been the longest prediction video that we've done yet on the channel. So thank you so much. You've made it you've made it to the end. You've made it to the end. Kape is a big mouth, but was brash. I like the pleasure man, my MVP. What does that mean? Can you explain your nickname? Ask your wife. I thought Kape honestly sold the card for me. More than Izzy and Sean Strickland's back and forth. More than Tuivasa's brother. Manel Kape sold the card for me. All right, this is the City Life Project and Volkan mixed with in association with Volkan. I'm just gonna say brought to you by Volkan. That's it. The City Life Project's Degenerate Parlay of the Week, brought to you by our friend Volkan in the chat. We got a 3-fight moneyline parlay. Landon Quiñones, John Makdessi, and Anton Turkalj. I'm going to read it one more time. Landon Quiñones, John Makdessi, Anton Turkalj. That is the Degenerate Parlay of the Week. Like and subscribe. Let me know what picks you agree with. Let me know what picks you don't agree with. Let me know what your parlays are, degenerate or serious, in the comments. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.